Hey, what's going on, Taco Fam? So I'm here with my boy Jason. He's helping me record this. So I played Branded at my locals over the weekend, as I told you guys. And I've also been doing some coaching sessions as well. Just, getting better at Branded.
Yeah,
But as I've stated before, I don't think Branded's very good at playing 40 this format, unfortunately. Because the deck had very clunky hands, even at 40. But you would think at 50, the hands would be like, oh, they're not that good. But just from testing it for hours and a couple days, it's actually not that bad. You actually have less clunky hands, and I only drew bat like one time today. And yes, it was locals, so it was 4 rounds of Swiss. Then we cut the top eight. So top eight is the fifth round, top four was the sixth round, and it was kind of like a mini regional because the finals was 7 rounds. So out of 7 rounds, I drew bad one game, not one match, one game. So just based on my build, but as you can see, my build over here, I can go through real quick. So y'all know I love and hate Adlib at the same time because this card's a brick. Honestly, this is the only card I did not use or go for at all today.
actually, a quick question: how many times did you have clunky hands, or like, did you break today? Like, I know you
Uh,
said one time. Like, did you like break on like the main cards, like gimmick or adlib?
no, actually, I did not draw ad lib today. I think I drew the puppet like one time, and it was actually busted because it made it to where I could just puppet for free, so I didn't have to. Because the problem I was having sometimes in the 50 card list is you can get to a half puppet lock, but you'll be either missing the puppet or the spellcaster to make the sanctifier. So it actually kind of helped out that I drew it, but most instances it's just not a good draw.
Yeah,
But yeah, the ad lib is okay. I still don't know if I want to play it or not, but it's there. Just another target to search with. Um, Two Shroud of Dragons. I actually enjoy it. So don't clown me for this. I probably would play three if I had a third Euro one, but two is fine. You could play either two or three. And 40, I would suggest at minimum two. If you're playing 50, it's typically two to three. Up to you.
yeah. It kind of helps
Uh,
you out with like the bad hands or like fixing your
yes, it
hand.
definitely does. It helps fix your hand a lot, but it's very. Hold up. Doot, doot, doot. What? I'm flying. There we go.
All right.
Come on. Sorry, y'all. My screen blacked out randomly, but I think I bumped it. Anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. You're good.
Okay, cool. So, moving on to some more starters. I am playing three Luber, no less than that. I like three Cartesia. I've been really testing three for a little while now. I think it's definitely a necessity. You always want to draw away the fuse, and not always having Branded Fusion. You at least need another way to play. That's why I like it. For Bystials, I played three. You see the Lubellion here.
Yeah.
Decided to play Magna in the main. I'm playing 50 cards, so I may as well. And then one star in here. For the other Despias, playing a two Tragedy. Kind of strange because I anybody who's known me for a long time and followed the channel knows like once a lot of the newer cards came out, I didn't really like this card. It's in the same boat as Adlib to me, where it bricks so much. But you're playing 50, so it's actually kind of insane whenever you have this card. But this is a part of some of your bad hands that you could have is having a tragedy and know where to use it. Because we're not playing Link Monster, so we can't just link it off to a Karibo to hit the grave or whatever. Three Albaz. Since day one, we always played three. We don't care. And I coincidentally played against one cash player and one deck that had cash cards in it. And one of my Albazes went to the Netherworld, so yes,
Yep.
definitely need it. The puppet, ignorant card, but it's whatever. Folks hate on Sanctifier, but it's this guy. Quimberly, as I call her. Yeah, she's been good. I drew her like one or two times. That was the only time it was like bad because she made one of those hands kind of weird. Only because I had to decide between her and Aluber, so I just ditched her and used her for something later. So it's not the worst, but it's definitely not the greatest sometimes. Talk about the Lubellion and the two Mercs. I prefer two because and the way I play this deck, combo with one, and then I banish and get a search, and then I search this one off lost, the second one, typically.
How do you like the like three alerts instead of like playing three tragedy? You're playing a double Mercurier, so it's like in case you do draw Mercurier
Hmm.
off alert, then you can always just banish it and don't have to worry about like not having a Mercurier access.
Right, right. And I mean, I like both the Tweety Bird and the Tragedy at two apiece because I think four is a good number in 50 if you're playing cards like Allure or a lot of ways to banish cards because both of these cards benefit of being banished. So that's why I like it.
Right.
And I can't leave home without my bird. Let's see. Spells. Obviously, I'm playing Allure. I've always been in love with Allure since this card came out, like Phantom Darkness. Just the fact that I get to draw two cards for free. Like, I actually won my top four match because it was insane. Because, like, I was playing through his board. I had talents, and I said, all right, talents, let's go crazy. Myself drew opening and then tragedy, and it was just GG. That gave me literally way too much advantage, and I just killed him. He was like, "Bro, not that too." It's like, dude, you had Kashtira monsters on the field. I had to break through that, and had a fusion, and you had birds. That allure, I mean, well, that talents better had given me something, because if not, I would have just had to attack with a Druid's Worm, which wasn't that good because he had birth. So yeah, so it was actually insane, and that definitely helped unclunk my hands too because it gave me cards like that. Three fusion, of course. High spirits. This is a weird one. So 40 or 50 or 60 don't matter. This card's still good because another pseudo starter for you. Sometimes it's a good throwaway card to just dump off Quim or even Sorinir or something. Just to get a free card to keep discarding back and forth. But it does contribute to some of your unplayable hands sometimes. If you're drawing like a bunch of spell cards, not really much to do. So it's like hit or miss, but it's not very likely that it'll happen. Two red. More
Yeah.
fusion spells definitely needed because it's like Mercurier for me. I use one during my combo, depending on my hand, and then one to set off Albion later. Um, and white is good. A lot of people who know me know I love this card. This card's just Miracle Fusion. And the fact that sometimes you could like randomly discard it off of Albaz or send it to the grave with a Albion that's in the graveyard. Oh no, that was awkward. Uh, Interesting. All right, sorry y'all.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was
Right.
interesting. Luckily, I had them good tabs open.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm kidding. Anyway,
Oh my god.
yeah, with white, it's actually really good. For another card we play in the extra deck, it's the only reason why I ever played this card. To be honest, only ever, only other time. Lost. This card broken. So I was under the impression this card's not very good going second, which is true. But at the same time, against fire decks, I learned from another buddy of mine, keep this thing in. Because just activating it applies a lot of pressure. So not much to explain. Reopening, a call by, which yeah, I clowned one of my opponents with this because he was getting cheeky. He was like, "Yeah, I got a hand trap." He went Bell. I said, "Ha, get that out of here."
Yeah,
So
combat
like,
is
the card was
crazy.
kind of crazy. But
Even
this
even
card is ignorant too.
even in 50, I feel like you draw a little too much.
A little bit. It feels like kind of saucy, but hey, man, I give my opponents my deck. Sometimes they give me good hands, sometimes they don't. But typically, this is pretty much just used to just stop like random hand traps or something in the mirror match actually. Because in the mirror is kind of like a pseudo bestial, and even against other decks like voiceless, it's kind of like a bestial to them too. And then played the foolish only because I'm playing 50. Same with the gold card. Three droplet. Uh, Decent card. It actually won me. Let's see, a couple games actually. Even in 50, I drew this quite often. I at least drew one. But in the grind games, for some reason, I just supposed to see any other two. It is what it is, but it didn't really matter too much. But It's good for getting bad cards out of your hand. Like if you open like Tragedy and Adlib, like they belong in the graveyard, not your hand. So this helps a lot. Uh, basically branded deployment.
Branded deployment. Yeah, that card's stupid.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty good. It's good going second, good going first. I like it a lot. Other one talents. I hate this card. I really don't like it. Like this card is unhealthy, but at the same time, every time I play this card, it's just terrible all the time. It's either if I play three, I overdraw it. If I play one, sometimes I still draw it and I can't even use it. Or they'll hand trap me and it's never a monster hand trap. So I don't have good luck with this card all the time. Except for today, which was insane, draw me those two good cards. Thrust, I know it's a bit expensive, but I think it's a mainstay in this deck. Even if you play 40. If you play 40, you don't necessarily have to play this. You just might have to increase,
The
the
attack
talents that you
decks.
play. Yeah. And then the card that lives in my hand, which I actually did not draw today. And duplication is pretty good.
Maybe an upside
Uh,
to playing 50.
you said what?
Maybe an upside to playing 50 cards.
Oh yeah, sometimes. The reason why I don't like 50 is because you're technically decreasing your chances of drawing your side cards, which we're gonna go into the side now. So I played three Bystials. So I did decide to side a second Sorneer. It was good because it's your engine one. That's why I decided to play extra one, just because it's the engine Bistio out of all the other ones. And drawing it's good along with the other ones. It was good against Voiceless, which I played against, I think, one or two Voiceless today, too, which is kind of crazy. Like, the Bistio was cooking. Like, by turn one, he lost both of his Guardians, so, yeah, it was pretty much GG there. Not to mention, game two, he just drew pretty bad, and I told him exactly why I don't play that deck. I said that deck bricks way too much for me to want to play it in a tournament. And if I want to brick with a deck, I may as well play a deck that I've been playing for a long time that can still brick a
Yeah.
lot and brick the same way. I may as well just play branded at that point. Three Phantasme. This card was crazy too. Against fire decks, you can solo a lot of their stuff because they never expect it. Like against other matchups, like in the Fire Mirror, if they do this and play against this, they'd be like, okay, that's cool. But when they see it against us, we're trying to draw these guys. We're trying to draw
Yeah.
these Bystios or the Meteor Man. We're always trying to, as they say, NIMBY daddy all the time. That's what I always say whenever I have this. People who play me know I like to troll. So if I draw this and they play into it, I always say, does someone say NIMBY daddy? Anyways, uh, who's Cyclone? I think I'm going to cut these because his cards are kind of terrible, to be honest. Maybe because I'm playing 50. But even at 40, it's kind of terrible. I'd rather just play a Duster or something.
Feel like it's a lot like less impactful with like trap decks out format.
Right. So I'll probably cut one and probably play like a Duster and then don't know what the last slot will be. But I think it's something like Tikaboo maybe, but I'm already playing three Floods as y'all see. Herald just for the random Pearly decks. And then three Summon Limit. Nothing crazy. Everybody's playing this card. Don't know why this card was at three, but they hit the other good Floods. I still don't understand why they thought this was a good idea. And for the extra deck, it's my boy Alba. I actually combo with this card a lot. I'm pretty sure you noticed as well, Jason, that I
Yeah.
actually
Lananas
combo with
went
this card a
crazy.
lot. Yeah, it's good with just the way that I play the deck. I think so. 'Cause a lot of people give this card flack, but it's actually kind of busted, low key. Because if you have him and Branded Dragon in the grave, that's basically two branded fusions. They have to stop one or the other. One's getting to a branded card, period. And this one's just good. Yes, not just against dragons, but just being able to combo with it with a Bistio, then like contact fuse, kind of cool. To Albion, and then Sanctify, the best one.
Sanctify.
Yeah, pretty good. This card is why I play white because we summon this card a lot, especially through testing. You summon it a lot, but if you don't play white, I don't suggest it because the line won't come up that much. But this helps you whenever you're resource managing your outbases and you draw too many. You usually go into a Lubellion or something, put these guys back. Yes, you sacrifice your Lubellion, but it doesn't necessarily matter if you're always able to play.
Card's crazy. It also helps
It is.
out like against like say like Fluanderees, like just popping their map or like always just popping follow up on end phases, you know?
Oh yeah, I actually like using this to pop a lot of random cards because I remember my Quinn got negated today, and I was like, okay, she's dead weight. I went to a Furious. I went Furious, pop her, pop another card, Brandon Red to add her back to my hand, normal summoned her, dumped again. Well, not dump, like do a revive effect for later. So it was just still
Yes.
good. Proskinian, I'm actually liking this more than Aquarius these days because we're playing this and we're playing white. It's just good for banishing SPs, princesses, even snatching stuff that you want from your opponent. Like in the mirror, I'm always snatching this. If I kill this thing, I'm taking it. So, one Dust Dragon. You could play two, but my flex spot went to Alba just for my combo lines. Chimera is good. So it's weird because at 40 cards, I never summoned this card. At 50 cards, I was summoning this card like it was just my job. This plus Borlo was just crazy all the time because you could just clear so many cards every turn. And there's plays where you could actually cycle back the Chimera with Lubellion and then like do it again. Lubellion, Tax Dragon, even though tax season's almost over, it's just the only one. Two Jade. Jade can solo just pretty much any board, just about. Jade is very powerful. It was definitely a good boss monster. A Drago. I actually did not summon this all at all today. Like, even at 40 cards, I never really need this card, but it's there if I get shifted or something. You know, Rembrandt, I actually summoned this card. This card went kind of crazy. It did, because I actually hard summoned it and was able to use it to like bounce fusion monsters because I played against a Chimera deck and it was actually kind of cool. It forced him to keep using Sword Knight to stop it because I would stop his other fusions, but it didn't matter. He killed me that one game anyway because I puppet locked him game one, game two. I was trying to play Rembrandt control plus some other cards. He just outpaced me, killed me with the big guy, and then game three, we was getting ready to go into time, and the moment I put a masquerade on the board, I saw a fist bump. So I was like, "Yep, it's not my fault." Because I had other plays. I was literally trying to insulate myself with a lot of protection because I had a lot of plans for this masquerade. I was actually going to loop this masquerade like two or three times with my setup, like to keep summoning it back just to try to survive. And Titan Clad comes up a lot. Sometimes I use it to summon Albaz during the end phase.
You
But
ever
yeah, that's
found yourself
pretty much
summoning
it.
the Titanclad? Or no?
You said what?
You ever summoned the Titaniclad?
Actually, yeah, I summoned it once. Actually played the mirror, summoned it one time. It was kind of funny. It didn't really matter because it sucks in the mirror, but it was just
Yeah.
big. And now I want to talk about like these other two cards right here. So these are cards that I've been mentioning, and I actually wanted to bring this to your attention too. But definitely, I've been thinking about the Blaze of Branded King. Card's kind of cool. So we play it for cards like Evenly, and not just Evenly. There's another card that we can, excuse me, lose to sometimes, and we play it ourselves, which is Droplet. Like we have no reliable answers to Droplet, and this is a good one. So you basically have this set with a Sanctifier, and you almost guarantee you get yourself through because they try to Droplet the Sanctifier to try to stop the Courtesy Puppet, and you just like, no, I'll negate it. I'll protect my Sanctifier, negate all my other cards. Sure. Most times, if I do that, I don't neg because I'm usually just leaving Sanctifier on the field. So it's definitely up for debate. And another card that I've really been thinking about too. Sorry, y'all can't spell apparently. All right, guess we're not spelling branded today. And I don't have my glasses on, but banishment. Yeah, I definitely like banishment just a little bit. I'm thinking the mirror match is getting more popular, so it might be. a necessity coming up soon. And even if we're not playing against it, it's low key good against voiceless too. Like, especially with Lost, you kind of clap them up whenever you bring back something like Adlib under Lost. Take their Guardian, send it to the Shadow Realm, and then because of Lost, you just search another card. Search any of the combo pieces that you need, and they lose all their materials. And because we play this, we can actually low key make it. So yeah, you see that level 8 or higher. So it's one of the only reliable ways that we make this guy. And if we
Sweet.
make him and they out it, we can use banishment to bring it back. So I've definitely been considering that card.
It's
What
also
do you
like
thought?
free super poly too.
You said what?
Yeah, it's basically super poly, especially lost stuff. They can't really do anything.
Oh, facts. And Super Probably is kind of buns right now. So
Yeah.
oh look, it's my frozen face. But yeah, that's pretty much the list that I ended up playing. Any thoughts? Any questions you have for me?
No. This seems really nice. You only like what was your matchups? How many mirrors did you play?
Uh, I played against one mirror. Actually, no. Technically, the deck that had the Kashtira cards in it was a branded deck. Believe it or not, it's kind of strange. But yeah, I got destroyed game one. Like I got super cooked. I lost the roll. This dude had like 5 engines and like opened all of them. It's one of my homeboys. I got Kashtira. He ended on a Schism with a window with Nadir Servant. Ended on a double Masquerade and like a imperm or something set. It was like, and I think like one other hand trap. I was like, dude, I'm not playing through this. Like, how you just you fumbled into such a busted board, and
That's
I'm like,
sick.
I can't break this. I tried to break it, and I was like, bro, why am I wasting time? So we just went next. There was no point wasting my time. And like I said, voiceless played against two brandeds. Played against one of my teammates playing the Snake Eyes Sky Striker deck. He just wanted to play Fun Deck, and of course, I just wanted to play Fun Deck as well. That was actually a draw right before Top Cut. We ended up drawing, unfortunately, for both of us because we probably wanted to win, but it didn't matter. But it was still a good game, regardless. Um, what else were my other matchups? Uh, I don't really remember. I think most of them were all pretty much the same. Either they were Kashtira, which Kashtira is one of them. Either Kashtira, branded, voiceless. That's literally all I saw today for some reason. So, and yeah, I ended up winning all my matches today. So I felt good about that
Nice,
one.
man. All right, congrats on your wins. You got anything else to say?
No, it's just locals.
All right.
But if you guys want any coaching, y'all could definitely hit me up. All right, Talking Fan. Peace.